What's up, fiends? Alucard here, and as you can see, we have two very special guests with us tonight. We have Steven, the Horror Freak 85, on
Hello.
this way, and the star of Sharkenstein, Greta Volkova, right below.
Hey.
How's it going, everybody?
Good.
All right, let's see who's here. YouTube me is here, of course. Of course, YouTube me is here. All right, my mom's here. There you go. Hey, mom. Auntie Betty's in the house. All right.
You better. Hey.
Hey. All right. So we'll just kind of chat for a couple minutes, let a few people in. So how's it going, guys?
Good. I was just finished eating, watched some Rick and Morty, and now I'm here.
That's a way to go, huh?
There we go.
How about you, Greta? How's it going?
That's good. It's kind of hot and humid right now, but
Yeah. Oh, I live in Louisiana, so yeah, I know.
yeah.
Oh, I know. Yes, indeed. So let's see. So how many people in the chat have seen Sharkenstein? I'd love to know. Oh, Vanessa's in the house.
That's that.
I know T Betty's seen it. She's seen all the Polonia movies pretty much. No, not a lot of them at least. So yeah. So Sharkenstein. This is bad movie trope the movie. But in a good way.
Yes.
There you go.
Hi.
June saying hello.
Hello.
All right. All right. So let's start talking Sharkenstein, and then we'll get into some other stuff. Since we're here. So it's released in 2016 by Wild Eye Releasing, Steven's favorite. And the rough synopsis is the remnants of a secret Nazi project to weaponize sharks is kind of redone 60 years later to try to create an undead killing machine known as Sharkenstein. Now, if that doesn't tell you you're in for a good time, I don't know what does. I mean, come on.
Nazis, experiments, shark, Frankenstein. Always in for a good time with that combo.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, it stars Greta Volkova as Madge, Kent Van Zant as Duke Lawson. He's like the Harbor Patrol guy. You know, he's always the authority figure. In every movie I think I've seen him in, he's the authority figure. We have Titus Himmelberger as Coop. We have my man James Carolus as Skip.
Sideways hat.
Sideways hat. Jeff Kirkendall as the Mad Dr. Klaus. Yoli Canales as the angry mother of the mob. And Mark Polonia himself as Hoskins. Yeah. So really it's kind of a who's who of Polonia pals, pretty much. Oh. Yeah, all right, Steven disappeared. You completely disappeared. That's amazing. I didn't know you were the Invisible Man.
Are you okay?
Sorry about that. No, I didn't want to say anything, but I was feeling sick a little bit before I came on, and yeah, I'll leave it at that.
All right.
If I disappear again, I'm sorry. I tried to mute the.
No problem. Just want to make sure you're all right.
Yeah.
But it was just funny. You just disappeared.
I am very sneaky.
Yes. That was kind of awesome, actually. All right, let's check the chat here. YouTube me just finished the movie. There we go. Let's see. Bad news. Taco Tuesday's been replaced with Tubi Tuesday. And
Well, why
literally
not
half the night. That's all right. That's funny. Why not tacos and Tubi? Hey, that's an idea.
You're gonna eat tacos and watch Tubi.
That's right. Tubi's fantastic. By the way, the Invisible Man, aka Horror Freak.
There's like hidden gems on Tubi.
There, I've seen some really, really great movies on there, and I've seen some horrible things as well. But it's a great company. They put all these movies out to watch, and the ads are not No, they're not bad at all. You get like 2 ads, like 2 10-second ads, and it goes right back to the movie.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's pretty awesome. At least I think so.
Mhm.
So Sharkenstein. So we start in black and white. We get images of Frankenstein and whatnot, and then we go to Germany in the winter of 1942, and we learn that this secret experiment is being shut down, and that's all we get before the opening credits. So now we cut to Catsman Cove, and we learn from Duke Lawson, who's the harbor patrol guy, that there are missing boaters, and that it's bad for business. Duh. uh, However, there is he talks to a dispatch lady, and she is hilarious. She has these great one-liners, and there's one point where she's like, "Great deduction, Captain Obvious," and stuff. It's goofy, but it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I
Then
think that's Mark's wife.
I was wondering who that was. Okay, okay. She did a great job. So now we see this girl walking down the beach, and then all of a sudden Sharkenstein appears and snatches her up and eats her whole. And it's it happens so fast, but it's hilarious. And you see the bolts in his fin, so you know it's Sharkenstein.
Mhm.
So now we meet up with our heroes of the story, Madge, Coop, and Skip, and they're on their way to Catsman Cove. That's a hard word to say. And so they start reading about the disappearances. Coop's in the back on his phone, like reading about all the stuff. And by the way, if you don't know, most of y'all know, but there's going to be full spoilers.
It's an in-depth movie.
Yes. Because it's Sharkenstein. I kind of have to. So they go, and then we see Sharkenstein again in the next scene, and he eats a fisherman. But the cool part here is that right after he eats him, uh, his feet are still on the dock. They're all sitting there, all bloody. Yeah, that made me laugh pretty good, I have to say.
And I think the shoes are different too from what the actor was wearing.
Yeah, I didn't catch that, but I wouldn't doubt it. So let's see. So now we cut back to Duke, and he discovers scraps of shark like washed up ashore, and he has a really great line here. He goes, "Sharks eating sharks, disappearing people," kind of like you, Stephen. And the only thing missing from this is a mad scientist. Cue mad scientist. So now we cut to Jeff Kirkendall as Klaus, and he's in charge of Sharkenstein. He kind of has him, captive, and he wants Sharkenstein to return to what they wanted back in the 40s. So now we go back to our heroic trio, and they get to the dock, and they meet up with the boat captain, played by Mark Polonia. His name is Hoskins. And I thought it was pretty interesting here that he decided to go mute for this character.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, he probably
yeah. But you know what? I actually think it worked better. And Mark was really good at like all the like little hand signals and stuff. I don't know. I totally thought it worked. And it's a good way to not have to learn lines. Oh, kitty. There we go.
She always seems to make a cameo whenever I do a podcast.
That's awesome. Hello, you are cute.
This is Nadia.
Right. Mine's hiding in a different room. She wants no part of this. So yes, okay. So they meet up with the boat captain, and your character at this point is kind of trepidatious, and because you're worried about all the missing boaters and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And however, it doesn't seem to bother you guys too much because y'all go for a swim. y'all lounge out on the boat, just relaxing. Y'all eat lunch. Y'all do all this stuff, and then Duke drives up in another boat, and he tells y'all need to head back, because all the dangerous stuff going on. Like, all right. So let me check the chat. The chat's going here. If I can get my computer to work. There we go. Yep, Taco Tubi. I like it. All right, everybody saying hello. Echo Sarah, what's going on, buddy? See, Betty, I like the shoes left on the pier with the bones sticking out. Yep. Casey's in the house. He's saying hi, Greta.
Hi.
All right. Very cool. All right, we're caught up. All right. So yeah, everybody get questions ready later, especially if you've seen the movie. Yeah, get your questions ready. We're gonna be coming to them. So all right. So now we cut back to Klaus feeding Sharkenstein, and he's testing control devices and all this other rigmarole. And then Duke goes and discovers the feet on the dock again. So you see it a couple times, and so now we cut to Sharkenstein again. Sharkenstein's on the attack again. He kills 3 divers and a sunbather. So the body count's ramping up here. It's pretty. It's pretty good. So now we cut back to our heroic trio and Hoskins, and they try to restart the boat, but the propeller is broken. And so our 3 heroes decide to go swim and explore the nearby island. Can't talk tonight. Let's see. And then at this point I think this is when Sharkenstein brushes up against you, if I'm not mistaken. And you kind of like, what is that? Kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so y'all get to the island, and you see a no trespassing sign, but y'all just continue anyway. They're like, nobody's here, blah blah blah. And then you'll find an abandoned house, what looks like to be an abandoned house, and it's actually Klaus's house. That rhymes. And so y'all discover the tank with Sharkenstein, and then Klaus meets y'all and pulls a gun on you. And so now we start learning about what's going on here a little bit. And Jeff Kirkendall was great, I thought, as Klaus, because he did the over the top accent and the whole deal. The hair's crazy. It was it just worked. So now we cut to Duke, and he goes to look for Hoskins and you guys, and because y'all haven't come back to the shore yet, and so now it cuts back to you guys talking with Klaus, and Klaus says that Sharkenstein is a combination of a great white shark, a blue shark, a hammerhead, and mako. So yeah, it's really it's definitely a Frankenstein version of a shark for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's to be like the ultimate killing machine, right? Is that the purpose?
Mm-hmm.
I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Nazis wanted to create like super sharks and have like an army of them to take over the world.
Yeah, exactly. So Klaus is going to use the trio for an experiment, and he makes them assist him in building Sharkenstein to its fullest potential, basically. And so they're going to put he has Frankenstein's heart and his brain, and they're going to implant these 2 into Sharkenstein. And and Klaus has a really great line after he explains all this. He goes, "This is the part where you tell me I'm crazy." Yeah, I love that line. It's great. So of course you guys help him put all the parts into Sharkenstein, and then he kind of puts you guys into a room, like away from everything, and he locks y'all up. So Klaus at this point tries to train Sharkenstein to like do whatever he says and to do his bidding, right? and his first assignment is to go kill Hoskins, that's still trapped on the boat in the middle of nowhere by the island. So Sharky, I in my notes I put Sharky instead of right now Sharkenstein. So Sharkenstein goes and he like blows up Hoskins' boat, and when he comes back, Klaus gets angry at Sharkenstein for getting like all the unwanted attention. I guess it was a bit loud because it blew up, you know. And so Klaus goes to zap Sharkenstein, but Sharkenstein actually jumps up and actually kills Klaus. Now I was surprised at this point because I was not expecting this to happen quite as early as it did. So let's see. So now Sharkenstein basically knocks over the house that our trio's in. So the whole house gets knocked over, and let's see. So they all go into the water, and then Sharkenstein, in the saddest part of the movie, Sharkenstein eats Skip. Our boy Skip. Yeah. Now Skip is played by James Carolus, who I'm not sure how old he is, but he's at least my age, and he wears his hat like this the entire movie. It's brilliant. I absolutely love it. I don't know why, but that cracked me up so freaking much.
Yeah, I guess we were all supposed to be like college students, and I guess James just wanted to try to appear younger, so he thought, well, I'll just move it to the side and try to be hip.
Be hip, man. Love it. So now Sharkenstein goes on a rampage, and he kills some cows. He kills he goes on his little rampage, and he alerts the angry mother, played by Yoli Canales. And so she's like, oh, and she gets a posse together, and they start shooting at him. And so they're gonna go hunt down Sharkenstein. And so now we cut back to Coop, played by Titus Himmelberger, and he splits away from Madge and Duke. And Coop grabs a stick, and he says, I have a weapon, and I know karate. And of course, he suddenly hears a noise, and then Coop turns around and gets eaten by Sharkenstein. So it's like, man, you guys are just not having a good day. Let's see. Mom says he hopes Sharkenstein ate that crooked hat too. Let's see. Love that mom. She was gung ho, man. She was all about it. She was like, let's do this. Looks like it was well done.
It's like the Universal films when like all the villagers are gathering up the pitchforks and torches and guns and to go after the monster.
Yes, it's very much like that. They're very much like Frankenstein. Absolutely.
Yeah, but I know some of the ones with the guns are like shooting at the guns are like sideways, trying to be all gangster like.
I mean, this movie's a trip and a half. It really is. So the angry mother gets the posse together. Like there's a whole big scene. They get them all together, and then we cut to Bonnie Boom Boom. She's having a photo shoot just randomly on this island, right? When of course Sharkenstein appears, takes out the photographer, takes out Bonnie Boom Boom.
Oh.
And
I think Bonnie survived that encounter.
Oh, did she? I may need to rewatch.
Oh.
Yeah, they're speculating for a sequel of pregnancy related from that.
Yes, okay. I remember now. All right. So and now's the part that was really impressive. We cut back to Madge and Duke, and you guys start talking about all the Universal and Hammer movies.
Yep.
And you had to learn them in order. How hard was that to memorize?
Yeah, that was I probably watched more than half of the movies, but to to get, because there was a lot of Universal and Hammer films of Frankenstein movies. That was a lot to get them in the right order and to say them flawlessly without, stuttering or anything. I'd say, rehearsal wise, that was probably the hardest lines to recite. But I'm proud of myself that I got all of them.
Yeah, you did great. I was like, man. She's like, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, yeah.
Frankenstein, son of Frankenstein, ghost of Frankenstein, boom, boom. Like it just like kept on going.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Frankenstein movies.
There really are, and then there's so many offshoots too. Like there's like hundreds and hundreds. It's ridiculous. But yeah, really impressive scene. And then we cut. And then Duke realizes that he knows of an old lighthouse on the shore. Excuse me, on the shore of the island, and they have stored munitions there. So it's like, oh, okay, so they're gonna have some weapons to combat this shark, right? Great. So Sharkenstein gets 2 members of the Angry Mom's posse, and let's see, and then Duke and Madge go to the lighthouse and they find all the dynamite and all the weapons and stuff. And at this point, I'm thinking it's gonna end like Jaws. Y'all gonna get it in his mouth, you're gonna blow it up or something. I don't know, but not quite. So Duke ends up cutting himself, for flesh. Why can I not talk tonight? He cuts himself to get fresh blood to lure in Sharkenstein.
Cuts flesh for fresh blood.
Yes. And then you have the most awkward line here in the entire movie.
You could have helped.
I mean, one, it comes out of nowhere, and it's like, wait, what?
Yeah, and it felt awkward reciting that too.
Yeah. So the line, I guess we should say the line for anyone who hasn't seen it. Ned says, "Oh, I could have saved you the trouble. I have my period." What? Like, where did that come from? Like, I don't know. I don't know what did Mark? No, Mark didn't write this. Somebody else wrote this, right? I think J.K. wrote it. I think. I don't remember. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a really awkward line. So then the mob attacks Sharkenstein one more time, and Duke runs into the lighthouse, and the mob starts shooting at the lighthouse and basically blows it all up. So it's sort of the Jaws ending, in a way. And then Madge kind of starts walks off to the dock at the end. And she says that the heart and the brain can never be destroyed. So that tells me sequel. I don't know about you. And then she sits down on the dock, and Sharkenstein pops up, and that is how the movie ends. So my I guess suggestion, Mark, if you're watching, I had two sequels. Okay, Bride of Sharkenstein. Okay, and Greta's got to wear the wig, the bride wig. And Sharkenstein. Yeah, that would be amazing. And then Sharkenstein must be destroyed. Give me the last one. There you go.
Yeah, I have the script. All it says is Sharkenstein by Mark Allen Polonia. It doesn't say written by anyone else. I actually have the original script that I had used on set. I don't know if.
Oh wow, nice. Very cool.
Camera, but yeah.
So do you have a piece of Sharkenstein? No.
No, but I've seen I know there's like fans in Japan have done like fan art. I've seen some sculpture of Sharkenstein, and it looks amazing. I'm like, oh my god, if they ever mass produced that, I would love to have one.
Yeah. Oh man, that would have been awesome.
NECA needs to get on that.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
Yeah, and I remember we took cast pictures. They used a foam fin that has the stitches on it, and like we posed with it. So I got to touch some of the props, but I did not take any home.
Oh, darn it. So yeah, so what was the experience like working on this movie? Like, was it? I mean, I'm sure. Like the thing with you guys, like every Polonia person I've ever talked to, you guys all are like y'all are super nice. Y'all are funny. Y'all are just like a really good group of people. And like so, I can just imagine you guys just having an absolute ball on set.
Yeah, so this was my second Polonia movie. The My first one was Bigfoot versus Zombies, and I just had a small role, and it was just a quick. It only took like a couple of hours, and that was it. So this was like my first feature film where I was the lead, and I was really excited. And just the experience was very different from the other films that I worked on. We did all that in just 3 days, and it just I've never really experienced filmmaking such as with Mark, because he gets things done in such a short amount of time, and there's such good camaraderie with all the other cast members, and it was a really fun long weekend. I went down to Pennsylvania. We went to his house. We filmed, in the local areas to that. Most of it was filmed in Pennsylvania, right in his hometown. And then the
Mhm.
water scenes, we went to one of the Finger Lakes in New York. So like it just was this fun, just carpooling back and forth, throughout Pennsylvania and New York, and we had a lot of fun going to the different locations. There was a lot of different locations for Sharkenstein, and it just was this.
Yeah,
It just went really fast, and we were just kind of all over the place. And I always have fun when I work on Mark's films, because it's just like you said, everyone's really nice, and we just have a good time doing these films.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, and the most of Mark's films are just straight up fun. You know what I mean? Like they're not meant to they're not these big crazy heavy movies. They're meant to have a good time. And I think that's what I appreciate about them, and I know a lot of people really do appreciate about these movies. And like I said, so now you've been in what I think 5 Polonia movies,
Vic
I
versus
believe.
Sharkenstein, Camp Blood 7, Camp Murder, Feeders 3. I was just recently in one of Anthony Polonia's movies. A few months back, we did a dinosaur movie, Sons of Saurians.
Oh, okay.
So 5 of Mark's films, and then I just did one with Anthony.
Oh, awesome. Very cool. And I think Anthony has a lot more to do with it than people think. I believe. Am I correct in assuming that?
He helps out a lot. I know like Feeders 3 recently came out. He worked on the puppets for that. He does a lot of
Mhm.
the artistic creative things for the movie making, and he's always fun to have on set too. We'll talk about like Godzilla and horror movies while we're on set.
Nice, nice. Now, do you actually like horror movies? Because I know some people that are in horror movies hate them.
Yeah, I grew up watching horror movies. My parents let me watch like a lot of the like the slashers from the 80s, and I sometimes watch like the older movies like The Hammer and Universal. So like I have like memories of like being a toddler and like seeing people being decapitated and impaled and like all the fake blood going everywhere, like the Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. Like I grew up like horror just runs through my veins.
Nice, nice. So you're the real deal. You're authentic. There you go. Awesome. Let's see.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, like watching like the older like the Hammer movies. I just absolutely loved like the vampire brides, like with the long hair and the long gowns. Like when I was a kid, it's like I want to be one of Dracula's brides, and I got to be a vampire bride. It's like mission
You,
accomplished.
you did, and that's actually another thing I wanted to bring up that has nothing to do with Polonia or this movie or anything. One of your first movies was Tales of Dracula,
Mhm.
and that was the first thing I ever saw you in. And I was really impressed with that movie. Like that movie's really great.
Yeah, Jill
It
loved like the movie was just tried to in the same vein as like the old Universal and Hammer, just trying to get the mood and you have it in black and white and with the sets and wardrobe and everything.
Yeah, it's a really amazing movie. It is available on YouTube if anyone is interested in seeing it. I will after the show I will put the link in the description below in case anybody wants to watch it because it's pretty awesome, especially if you like I said if you like the old Universal movies in particular. I mean, it's right up there. It's right along that vein. It's really great. Let's see what else, and then you also did. I haven't watched it yet, but you did another movie where you were a vampire uh, with Mark Dickinson.
Oh, yes. Yes,
Yeah,
Mark, he'd have like Halloween specials on the public access,
yeah.
and he got permission. Actually, he communicated with Joe, who did Tales of Dracula, and I think he bought the Dracula's coffin, and
Mm.
he had different Halloween, specials. I was in a couple of his movies, but the one I was a vampire, and I was in a few of the vampire specials where he just would promote different events that were going on in the area and promote like whatever films that were made in the area. It was a
Yeah,
nice promotion for local projects.
nice. Because that's actually where I learned about Tales of Dracula. On he Mark does a show called The Horror of It All, Silent
Hmm.
Screams, and there was like they had a little special that aired on that, and that's how I learned about it. And I was like, oh, I got to find this, and then I found it. And I was like, oh man, this is fantastic. Um, so yeah, yeah.
And what
So
I
yeah,
love about Mark's movies, like he does like the silent film style with like
yeah,
getting all the graininess and like this, and like having the cue cards afterwards, and just having that era going even earlier than Universal, and like with the Nosferatu, and like I thought it came out great with having the music in the background, just the silence and the grainy bits all over the screen. I just thought that was a nice touch.
it really was. Now, do you like getting all dressed up in the period pieces and whatnot?
I
And
do, so long as not really tight corsets.
yeah,
I was I was in this one movie, Winter's Bloom, and it was a kind of a black comedy, and it was set in like Victorian times, and the director wanted like authentic things, and I got fitted for the corset piece, and the woman at the time, she really squeezed it as to how the women were in those days, and I'm like, holy crap, like no, I cannot, like we need to loosen it up a little bit. So I had the corset experience, not a huge fan of it.
I can imagine. Goodness gracious. Let's see, and then you were in the last Frankenstein. So not only were you in Sharkenstein, so you've been in Frankenstein, Sharkenstein, and vampire stuff. So
Uh-huh.
you kind of have the whole gamut.
Yeah, and the Tales of Dracula has the main monsters. It has Frankenstein, the creature, Dracula, and the Wolfman.
Wolfman.
The sequel to
Yes,
that's
yes,
coming
yes,
out, although unfortunately I'm not in the sequel, but looking forward to that one.
yes. As am I. Let's see. All right. Let's see. How long did it take? You kind of answered that. What waters? Well, so what waterways were y'all filming for Sharkenstein?
So that was one of the Finger Lakes, and like the actual swimming scenes, I believe it was still the Finger Lakes, and we were really close to shore because I know I had gotten some criticism because my swimming scene, like I think I'm like dog paddling, but we were in really shallow water at that point. Like my knees were hitting the sand. I couldn't quite get the motion to do actual. Like, why are you dog paddling? You're not swimming very well. I was like, I was in like 2 feet of water. Like, sorry.
Well, considering that, I thought it looked pretty good. Then that's pretty good.
Well, thank you.
Let's see. Here you go. Glad you were not killed by that thing. There you go.
I like too. I love it when I don't die. Although
Yeah,
it's kind of ambiguous with the end because the movie ends with something coming right at me. So
yeah.
I'm like,
Oh
do
yeah.
I live?
That's
Do I die?
so so, so that definitely means sequel. That definitely to me it does. Like I said, Bride of Sharkenstein. You have to at least do the Bride of Sharkenstein. Come on. All right, Mr. Bones in the house. What's going on, Bonesy? And let me see. Now I did want to ask you a kind of, I guess, an odd question. um, so I know a lot of directors don't like their actors to have tattoos, and I know you have a couple of tattoos. So
Mhm.
has that been a problem uh, for you at all?
Um, Not usually. If I'm doing a period piece where tattoos were not common, then yes. Like going back to that Victorian one,
Hmm.
I mean, I was pretty much all covered. But yeah, it does become an issue if it's like a period thing where most of the people back then would not. Because I know in Tales of Dracula, that would not have been an era where
Right.
they would have had tattoos. And like I remember like my dress goes down a little bit and I have tattoos on my upper back. So they're trying to work around making sure that they weren't visible. So I mean, I'd say definitely the period pieces, it kind of becomes an issue, but most of the movies that I've done take place in contemporary times, so it's not usually an issue. Or I think I was an extra in this one movie, and I was playing an orderly at a nursing home, and I was wearing the scrubs, but my arms were shown, so they just threw in those the undergarment things for the long sleeves just to cover it up.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, because I know some because I was talking with Adam Marcus, the director, and 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 his one of his big advice to actors was like, don't get tattoos. I just so yeah, so I just thought that would be interesting to see if that was ever an issue for you.
Yeah,
So yeah,
and you know they have makeup too to cover them up if it really is an issue. But I think that advice would probably be more for union actors. I'm not union. This is pretty much just hobby related things. But you know, if I'm working with a director who's not familiar with me, like I'll just let them know if it is an issue for the character or for like wardrobe or whatever.
yeah. All right, very cool. And then I also wanted to talk about. I saw on one of your acting reels um, that you played a character named Gloria Maplebottom.
Oh yes, yeah,
Tell us a
that
little
was
bit
Lance.
about Gloria.
Oh, that was just a news reporter. Oh yes, that's I can't think of his name now. It's a friend of mine in Syracuse who's a DJ. He created a character and he offered me to play a news reporter because the movie was him having a I think it was like a boxing or wrestling match. So I was reporting that.
Yeah. Yep. What's up, Hobbs? Yeah. So yeah, the let's see, because I'm kind of looking at my notes. So on your and then you were also in another shark movie called House Shark.
Yeah. Yes, I just had a short cameo. In
That was
fact,
right.
I'm in the
Yeah.
trailer, and that's pretty much all I'm in it. I'm only in it for about 10 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that movie
Yeah.
is hilarious. The House Shark is very funny, and I think it's on Tubi, so that's definitely worth a watch.
I
I'm
believe
pre-
it is. Yeah.
yeah. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. In fact, let's see. Is one, two.
It's like House Shark, Land Shark, they're all on there.
There's at least you have at least 4 or 5 movies on Tubi that I'm looking at right now.
And
Yeah.
I think
Well,
most of them are Polonia movies.
most of them are. Uh, yeah, I think most of them are. Let me see. And then you also played a witch in Brackish.
Yes.
Yes. Was how was that? Was that like weird and I don't know. I'm
Oh,
not
no,
sure how to describe it.
no, it was amazing. I love playing villain roles or supernatural characters. So Brackish, that was a Mad Angel Films that was filmed at Utica, New York, and that was actually a remake. Matt wanted to remake it. I think the first one was like probably made about 10 years prior to that. And my witch character was only mentioned in the first one, but he wanted to expand that a little bit. And I actually wore the same contacts that I wore in Tales of Dracula, and I tried to like make myself up as like an albino witch. I'm like sort of some sort of eternal harbinger of doom, like trying to warn a character not to mess with something, and I just absolutely loved it.
Nice, nice. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. That sounds pretty awesome. So yeah, what you have anything coming out in the future that you can talk about, I guess, or mention, I guess.
Sure. Next week, I'm going back to filming Mark of the Werewolf. We filmed most of that last summer, but we had a lot of rain during. It was like the tail end of like hurricane season, and that really
Mm.
messed with the schedule. So we probably got about 80-90% of it done. So the director is coming back up. I think he might already be in the area, but I'm filming next week to finish up the scenes. So it's a pretty awesome werewolf movie that's coming out. I'm not sure once it's done when it's going to be out, but that's going to be coming up soon. And I'm not sure when Anthony's dinosaur movie's coming out, but these are the current projects that I've worked on that hasn't been released yet.
Very cool. And then what? So and you're also now in Feeders 3,
Yes.
which just came out, or is it just?
Mhm.
Yeah, it just came out, I believe.
Yeah, a few weeks ago, I guess, or a month. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like one of the Polonia like bigger franchises, I guess you could say. So so what was it like working with the little alien creatures?
That was so cool. And I know there was like there was different sets of aliens. One, the movie, it's basically a movie within a movie. So one of the main storylines is there's a director who's filming the movie that takes place in the first one, and I play like female Bennett. Like the director decided to cast the main characters as women, and so you have the fake puppet aliens who are in the movie within the movie, and then there's the real alien puppets who are the real aliens killing everyone. And it's the dolls looked kind of fragile, so I didn't really want to mess with them too. They looked really cool to see them up close and in person.
That's awesome. And then Steven, you've seen it, right? You've seen
Yeah, I've
Feeders 3?
seen it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Is it as epic as the first two?
I think it continues it well. Yes, she has the best lines in it too.
I can't. I actually can't wait to see
she's
it.
basically a porn star wanting to go into the serious acting career, so she's like transferring over.
And I keep trailing off and talking about like my history in the porn business, and I start to go into like very inappropriate things, and that's when like the sound effects start cutting me off. Like nope, cut, we can't talk about that.
Like, almost every scene in the new movie, she had to bring up her past.
Nice.
Did Mark reach out to you for that, or did you hear about it in audition, or how did that come about?
He sent me a message, and he asked me if I knew of another actress to come along, and I got Jackie involved, and he wanted me to specifically to play that role. So I'm like, okay, all right.
It's like, so that's how you see me, huh? Yeah. It's like, gee, thanks, Mark. So yeah, so now you're like you're part of the gang. Like you're part of the Polonia gang. Like you're in. You're 5 movies in. You're part of it. And then so you're also part of the. Are you part of the Wolfbane folks too?
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's the Tales of Dracula, and that's also the Mark of the Werewolf that I'm working on.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Okay. All right. Yeah. Now it clicked. The Mark of the Werewolf clicked with me now. Okay, now I get it. All right. So yeah, Steven, you have anything else you want to add?
Let's see. Also with theaters, I assumed you watched the first two before.
Oh, the Feeders.
Yeah.
I've seen them. I remember when the second one came out and it was a Christmas movie. I laughed my butt off. That was pretty funny.
Santa is awesome, and he may be a cameo.
I know I've seen the first one. I'm trying to remember if I've seen the second one. I know that one takes place at Christmas. I might not have seen the second one, but I have seen the first one.
They show, even in the third one, they show a lot of like what happened in the first couple movies. They always have like those flashbacks and show the scenes in it. So It almost really doesn't matter.
You have this like Santa character, you know, come in, and it's like, well, who's this guy? Like, oh, and then they do flashbacks.
Nice. All right. Well, Greta, do you have anything else to add to Sharkenstein or anything else that you want to talk about?
Any interesting behind the theater scenes or whatever?
Yeah.
Any what?
I'm sorry, behind the scenes of theaters. Any improv during that, or that was mostly to the script?
We cut mostly to the script. Like I remember Jackie and I were kind of goofing off, and I think we were reciting our lines with different accents. We're doing a Southern accent, European accent, just to be funny. I don't think they were actually filming any of that, but we had a lot of fun, you know, seeing the puppets and everything.
Awesome.
And we were at a hotel that had a jacuzzi, so that's always a plus.
Hey, there you go. All right. So I have one more question for you, and then we'll get out of here. Out of all the movies you've done, is there one moment that really sticks out to you in your mind? Now it can be behind the scenes, it can be on screen, whatever. Just an experience, you know, whatever however you want to take it.
I'd have to say I absolutely loved being a vampire, even though the fangs that I had in my mouth were absolutely huge, and I had to recite a line in Romanian. But I just absolutely loved being a vampire bride, and I think that was probably the highlight of my acting, was getting to be in character and getting to be a monster. I remember my dad saw that, and he said that I had terrified him. I was even scarier than Dracula, and I'm like, oh wow, okay.
You're like, that's awesome. Thanks, Dad.
I'm terrifying.
Yes, you are. Like, oh my gosh, I can't even do it. All right, guys. Well, we're going to get out of here. I'd like to thank Stephen and of course Greta for coming by. Check out. I have everybody's links in the description. Please go check everybody out. Yeah. Other than that, guys, we will see y'all later. Peace out.
Have a good night.